and welcome to Time Mistress. Okay, so what's it about? Well, basically, if you've used any kind of time management things, to-do lists, project managers, whatever, they all tend to have inherent problems, and the inherent problem is life, because life doesn't tend to necessarily go into little pigeonholes. And what tends to happen is that you tend to have to carry tasks over from one day to the next because they don't go in order, or they don't go to plan, or they take longer than expected, or something doesn't happen about them, or something more something more urgent comes along, that kind of thing. And you just end up with basically loads of broken goals, which is not very motivating. And also, amongst all that chaos, basically, with this ever-expanding list of things that you have to keep prioritizing because the priorities keep changing, you tend to drop the ball. And what I mean by drop the ball is you tend to let something pass that you shouldn't. And no matter how whatever ways you try and get round that, post-it notes, fridge magnets, emails to yourself, whatever you try and do, basically it's not particularly manageable. It's very inefficient, and you're very likely to miss something. So it was time for a change. So this is a very kind of radical new way of doing time management and project management and that kind of thing. It's also particularly suited to internet marketing, because internet marketing is not really a linear process. Usually there are lots of properties and assets and tasks, and things like autoresponders and list relationships and press releases and new products to create, and sales and bundles and seasonal offers and all this kind of stuff. So it's actually quite cyclic. And the trouble is when you have a even a medium-sized business, you tend to end up having at least 20 properties, if not 100, if not 1,000. And you may not think you do, but if you sat down and added it up, all of the sites you have, all of the lists you have, all of the products you have, all of the affiliate offers you can do or do, all of the sites you're a member of, all these kind of things, it all adds up drastically into a huge mammoth kind of thing. And basically what I've found is that one of the things is that we need to stay focused on what we're doing until we finish it. So that's one problem, but life, as I say, doesn't tend to let you do that, and things tend to get in the way and jump the queue and this kind of stuff. But nevertheless, the things that are important that you shouldn't let slip by need to stay there. But the ever expanding to-do list, ever expanding reprioritization, just basically doesn't really help us that much, and it's more than we can cope with. So this is why this is a different idea. It's a very, very simple program. It's not going to seem like anything, but when you compare it to having scraps of paper, loads of different systems, having things in different places, all that kind of stuff, you can see how it's going to make your life so much easier. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put some tasks in it. So the tasks you put in can be whatever you want. They might be websites you need to do, there might be niches you need to investigate, there might be products you need to learn, it might be training you need to do, it might be emails you want to send out, it might be seasonal offers you want to send out, whatever it is. You just make a list of it. But just for simplicity, I'm just going to just type in 4 things that might happen in my day. So let's say that I'm going to start with breakfast, and that's a part of my life, and let's call it maintenance, and we just add it, and you can see what happened there. And then let's say that we want to do lunch. Now let's say this is a business lunch, and I'm going to talk about marketing, and it's basically going to produce money, so I'm going to add that. Okay, then let's say that we want dinner. Okay, and the dinner might be development meeting with a product assessment or something like that. So it's speculative, probably, to be honest. So it's speculative, and then we might have supper, and at supper we might be doing our our accounts or something like that. So I'll put that under maintenance, and there we go. Okay, so I mean, obviously, the list can be thousands of items long. As I say, they're tending to be cyclic, so you tend to only going to need to enter them one time, or every time you do something new, like a new niche or a new website, or start a new list, something like that. But once you're up and running, it's going to be easy to maintain it. So we've got these 4 things in here at the moment. So we've got breakfast, and when we click on it, you can see that it reminds us what category it was in, and and then we're off. Okay, so once we've got our list of stuff in, we want to synchronize it to to this list here. Now this is the nurture list, and basically this is the kind of crux of this Time Mistress concept, in the sense that we have endless things, endless assets, endless properties, endless projects, endless customers, endless things to do, and basically they all need nurturing at some point, but the question is when. And also, we don't want to become unmotivated by seeing the list diminish, and we don't want to have to keep transferring lists from day to day and that kind of thing. So basically, now we've got our list, we can just basically start our day, and we could say let's do breakfast. And the other thing we need to is we know that we need to concentrate on this and get it finished and done, so we can just start the stopwatch and spend 45 minutes, which is the optimum time to do anything. If it takes longer than that, then we just need to get what we can get done in that time and come back to it. Everything should be able to achievable in that time if you actually concentrate. And I don't mean stopping to read emails or going to watch YouTube videos or answering the phone. I mean, if you actually sat down and concentrated, you could do pretty much anything in 45 minutes. Try to do the outline of a sales letter, finish a sales letter, create a graphic, put up a blog site, or certainly half of it. Then another time you might go back and do the plugins, and then another time you might go back and do the optimization. Another time you might go back and do the promotion. So everything is basically splittable into these little 45-minute time slots. It's in 45 minutes because that's the optimum concentration time for humans, and you're a human. At least I believe you are. So anyway, so we can spend our time on that, and everything's hunky-dunky, and we can just finish that task when we want to. Now let's say we finished that, and then basically we've just got it in the list, and we can say, right, well, I've done that, and it goes down to the bottom of the list basically, because it's not over with, because the next day or the next time or the next cycle or whatever it is, we're going to want to do it again. Okay, so now we come to lunch, and we might think, well, is lunch going to earn me money? Yes, it is. So actually we might do that one, so we can start the stopwatch again and actually do that, and then when we finish doing that, we're going to put it at the bottom of the list. Okay, now dinner is speculative, so we might decide we might want to skip dinner right now because something's more important, or we can see that supper's coming, and we know that supper's part of our maintenance, so maybe we really want to get that out of the way, or for some reason we don't want to do dinner, but we don't want to abandon dinner. We can't not ever do it. It needs to happen in the next time, the next day, the next cycle, so we can just stick that at the bottom of the list, and it's there ready for us, and then we can do the supper, we can set the stopwatch and do the thing, and we're off. And also the other thing is, if we're doing supper and there's some stuff that needs to happen about this, I don't know, prepare a PowerPoint presentation or something, whatever, for Outworker, and then we can just update that, and then that's basically saved in there, and then you can see when you click on it, it recalls down the bottom there. Okay, so we've done that, we time it, we spend the time doing it, and then we nurture it, and then that's our day, or that's as much as we can get through on this session. Okay, maybe we'll come back in an hour and continue it or whatever, but for this session, let's say that's it. Okay, now when we come back to it, we can see that our list is now back basically in the rotation. So now we're going to do breakfast again. So if this was a site or a niche or something or promotion, we're on the next level, the next state of doing that. And as you add to it and decide other things you want to add to it. You know, you can you know, just make notes to, you know, to see where you are, you know, and just carry on like that. Okay, just click the update button and then we're done. The paste button is to copy it from the clipboard, so you could paste a URL into there from the clipboard, or you could paste you know, some notes from a, you know, a Word document or a bit of a web page or something, and just stick it in there. It's basically expandable and can go on for as long as you want, and you know, that's basically that. So, you know, anyway, so there we are. So, you know, we're on the next day and we do the breakfast. We can see the notes, we can you know, tick that off or whatever you want to do, you know, so we know that what we're doing, and then basically we're just going to, you know, nurture that, and then we're back at lunch. So you can see basically what's going to happen. So, you know, basically you know, life, particularly marketing, is very much a cyclic event. You know, you don't just stick a website up and just leave it to rot. At some point you need to come back, you know, and do it. So it's basically, this is going to constantly remind you of the things that need to happen, and you know, you're going to stay focused on it, and you know, use the stopwatch to finish it and complete it up to that level, and then you're going to nurture it, you know, for later on. Okay, if you think that there's a project you particularly want to, you know, to do, let's say you think you want to have a look at lunch, you can just do the live here and then see lunch, and then you can see you know, what's going on about lunch. Okay, the other thing that we can do, if we just click that little filter button, it clears the filter. The other thing that we can do is let's add some notes there. Oops, still can't spell, of course. There we go. The other thing we can do is that we can also do it by categories or by, you know, urgency. So basically, you know, if we want to know what's going to earn us money, you know, right now, then basically if you just hold the control key down, when you click on it, it searches by, you know, that criteria. So we can see that this is going to be income generating. If we want to see what maintenance tasks we need to do, we just need to click the control key when you click on it again, and these are the things that are going to be maintenance orientated. Okay, we want to see what speculative, same thing, hold control and you click at it, and we can see what the speculative things are. Right, if we want to see everything again, just click the little filter thing and it clears the filters. If you want to see what kind of group of things they're in, so, you know, say if we want to think, yeah, what other marketing do we need to do again, you can just hold the control key down, click on marketing, and we can see all the events that are just to do with marketing. Okay, and again, you can just you know, see what's going on about them and do it. So if you need to queue jump very quickly, you can. Okay, and then yeah, you've got the number to see it. You can just scroll to the number, and then you can say, well, I've done that, and I'll nurture it, and you know, that's over. Okay, and that's it. So, you know, it seems very, very simple, basically because it is, but you can see why it works so well, because it's just very simple. Everything's there in your face to remind you, but nothing's being neglected. You know, everything has its own immediate, you know, urgency, and if you don't think it's urgent right at that second, you can just shelve it for later, but it doesn't mean you've forgotten it. It's going to be down there waiting for you for later on. Okay, and that's basically it. That's it. Time Mistress, you know, she just keeps you on track, keeps you focused, make sure you never forget anything. Everything's in there. You know, you can search by all these other criteria, you know, to see what's going on. If you're in a particular mood to do, you know, brainstorming or something, then you can just see what brainstorming tasks you've got. In this particular list I haven't got any, but you know, there could be some, or you know, maybe we need to go and add some. So, you know, again, it's going to help you to kind of mind map out your business and make sure that you're on track. Okay, the filter over here does the same kind of thing. You know, with the keywords, it doesn't do the category sorting, which is only over here. But you know, if you've got, I think there's a particular domain name or something, and you're not sure, then you can just, you know, double check to see you know, what it is about it that's supposed to happen. Okay, and the number here is the same as the number here, so it's, you know, quick to find it, or you can just you know, type in the number there to find it. Okay, that's it. Very simple. You can see how amazingly productive it is. Very simple. There's nothing to learn. No, you know, nat bars to pull out, no multiple category to-do lists to do, nothing like that. It's basically just it's kind of keyword driven from the content. Whatever you name the task, you can find it by. You categorize these things into the the subgroups, and you decide what purpose is it for you in life. And I've very deliberately picked these categories to make sure that you understand why you're doing them and which is the most important. So obviously normally income generating should be the thing, and if ask yourself the question and say, is this income generating right now or not? If the answer is no, then you know that maybe you shouldn't necessarily do it right now unless you've already done something which was income generating. On the other hand, when you've got some downtime, and you need to see what you need to maintain or whatever, you can do that. When you want to look at your longer term projects, you can go to your desirable expected bands and see what's going on. Requested are things that other people ask you to do, which you may or may not feel you need to do. So you can put whatever external demands you want in there, because normally you'll find that people can wait. When you do it immediately, they tend to go, oh yeah, I'll get to it later. So nothing's usually that important. So this is why it's about you prioritizing your business, so that you know exactly what you need to do. And then the stopwatch is very much about you spending the time, the focus time, to do it without interruptions, and it plays a little a WAV sound when it's finished, so that you know that it's time to stop that one, nurture it and move on. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.